Hi, welcome to Conversations with the Goodman School of Business. I'm Susan LeBlanc, and my guest today is Jason Sparaga. Welcome, Jason.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jason is a graduate from 1993 BBA, and he is the 2015 Distinguished Graduate from the Goodman School of Business. So congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
So what does that award mean to you?
I think it brings things a bit full circle for me.
Sure.
I think I feel like it helps me reconnect and feel a part of the university. I spent a lot of time since graduating trying to participate in development of students on campus and campus life and within the business school. And so receiving the award, I think it recognizes sort of those efforts, and it also helps me sort of pause and take a moment and think about the things that have led to receiving the award.
Yeah. And you have been involved with Brock and the Goodman School for a number of years. You're still involved today. You're very involved with our Monster Pitch and with the Dean's Advisory Council. Yeah,
a couple of great. Well, obviously the Monster Pitch is a riot. I love doing that, and been fortunate enough to be able to bring in on different occasions Bruce Croxon and Jim Treliving and Deborah Rosati and some great people, John from Hero Burger last year, and so we just have a lot of fun with that, and really does blow our minds how much effort is put in from the kids. How much thought is put into their presentation. So I really get a kick out of that. And then with the Advisory Council, feel like we're making a meaningful contribution to developing the Dean's objectives and supporting him and the initiatives of the school, which Don Sear, I've been working with Don for a number of years now, and we've accomplished some great things over the last few years here at the school. And I was commenting on our way over here how much the place has changed and grown.
Oh yeah, it must have. I'm sure. Yeah. Like from the building we walked through, was all of that's brand new since you were here.
Yeah, a lot of it was fields and those kinds of things.
That's what you were saying. You were actually speaking to some students just before we came over.
That's right.
And you actually commented where we're standing right now used to be a field.
Yeah. As we walked out of the doors of the business school.
Yeah. So you were just meeting with some students, and what sort of advice did you have for them? What were you trying to what were you trying to get them to understand about being a business person?
Well, I think it's fair to say that I didn't sugarcoat my views and opinions. There's lots of foundational things that you'll learn in university, but once you get out there in kind of the real world, things can be a little bit different and daunting. And I know in their minds, they're thinking, okay, how do I go from kind of here to either developing my own business or getting a real job, that kind of leap, because that's the stage that they're at. And so my advice was be bold, inventive, creative, take risks, and don't be afraid of challenges. Worst that somebody can say to you is no. You're going to fall down and get back up. We don't have as much opportunity as young people today to fall and realize that we're going to get back up, because we try to protect our children, me included, a lot more today. And so it was saying to them, you're only kind of here once. If you fancy yourself as an entrepreneur, you want to be your own boss, then go for it. Find some unique thing, challenge the status quo. Yeah.
There's some fear involved, but you can't let that stop you.
Don't let that stop you. And if it does, you got to, I think, look in the mirror and say, am I that person? Because the world needs all types,
absolutely,
both in business and otherwise. And not everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur and to constantly be taking risk and challenging status quo. Some people are the minders and the grinders of the world, and other people are the supporting cast. And there were people quite frankly, within the meeting that put up their hand and said, I'm not an entrepreneur. Exactly. I have my safety zone that I want to be in.
That's right.
But I can contribute meaningfully to the business community.
Right.
So,
yeah. Now, I know you've been involved with a lot of community work as well. Like you're not just all business. You also give back to your community. So why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the things you're involved with and why?
Well, I'd say it's both within the business and outside of the business that we're involved. From a fundamental business platform, we very much preach the social capitalism. So we do a lot in the community power space, cooperative organizations as a fundamental basis. And then outside of that, I have a son that's on the spectrum, on the autism spectrum that we discovered when he was 8, and he's now 15. And I think that was the real kickoff, but from there, started to get involved in a bunch of different organizations, including a group called Unity for Autism that I sit on the board of. We put on an annual event for prostate cancer called the Spark Hockey Challenge. We have a donations program within our business. Every one of our 100+ employees gets a certain amount that they get to sit with their family and decide where they're going to donate it to, and we make that donation in their name. So we do believe that there's lots beyond business and outside the borders as well, and that work-life balance piece of it.
Yeah, and I know work-life balance is really important to you because I've had the pleasure of meeting your family, and it's lovely, and it's really lovely to see you with them. And I think a lot of people maybe think, in order to be a successful business person, you've got to give 110% of your life to that, and your family's just going to suffer. But that's not the case for you.
No. Again, I talked about this during our the meeting with the BIG group. I will have some disagreements with very successful entrepreneurs who will say there's no such thing as work-life balance as an entrepreneur. If you really want to get ahead, there's not a true balance. And I would argue with that. It really depends on how you construct your life. But start it early. Don't try to change it after the fact. It becomes a lot more difficult. There are times for prioritizing each. But by the same token, even though there's a balance, when you're doing your work, when you're in business, be in business. Don't let that part take away from your execution, and build some boundaries on both sides. I think it's really, really important, and make yourself understood and vocal about where your boundaries are, and people will respect them.
Great, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations again on the award. Very well deserved. We're so very proud to have you as our 2015 Distinguished Graduate.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that, I think, will wrap it up for this edition of Conversations. Be sure to check out some of the other Brock podcasts. We've got the Brock News podcast, and Consider This, one of the research-based podcasts. So thank you for checking us out, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.